this is a political firestorm that's not going to go away anytime soon. It's a story that has legs, and the legs just got stronger and longer. And, I think that he's doing this to sort of try to put out a fire. I think a libel suit against the Wall Street Journal is a tough thing to prove, but it also could backfire sort of legally for the president, because if in fact he goes through with this, there's this discovery stage, and that could release a lot of documents that could, exonerate him, or there are those that could sort of paint him in a less, flattering light. So, it's very hard to prove defamation through libel, but I think he's trying to make a clear point that this isn't true. The Wall Street Journal is a very reputable outlet. I don't think they would have run with this unless they had hard proof and it was well sourced. So it's a stunning time. I've never seen, I can't recall where a sitting president actually sued a media outlet for a report that he didn't like. He did this when he was a candidate, but as a sitting president, this is a new bar that we haven't really seen before.
Do you think this will quiet down the skeptics out there?
No, I think, I honestly feel like I've written about this. A lot of the Trump sort of surrogates, many of whom are in the DOJ right now, they spun up a lot of conspiracy theorists, right? And the problem with conspiracy theories is that they just don't go away. You cannot prove that they don't exist. And so even if Trump is purely innocent, he saying, no, there's no there, well, that goes against what, his followers, a lot of his hardcore MAGA followers have been told and led to believe for the last 10 years. And so they say there's nothing there. Just by default, they're going to assume that you are covering something up. Is he covering something up? I have no idea. I don't think so. I mean, at least I don't think that he's probably covering up any sort of illegal activity. Was he friendly with Epstein in the 90s? It seems so. They were bold-faced names, and that was sort of the game that was played, and that cozy relationship kind of plays into an elite status that he wants to get away from, and maybe it's embarrassing to him. But again, I think this, by filing a lawsuit, I think that he's very angry by this Wall Street Journal article, and him filing a lawsuit probably may backfire because it will keep the story in the news.
There is a statement from AG Pam Bondis. I believe we're going to put it up. I'm reading this for the first time as well, Colby. It says, given the public interest in the investigative work conducted by the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation into Epstein, the Department of Justice moves to unseal the underlying grand jury transcripts. I just wanted to get that out there. How do you think this will play out?
Well, it's interesting. She did this under the order of Trump. Trump asked for this, and so that was in the sort of the patina of transparency. But he made it clear that that he caveated it as pertinent. So it's not all the transcripts are going to be released by Pam Bondis. It's those that she feels are pertinent, and that gives some wiggle room. And I think if it goes into a deeper sort of court of law and there is discovery, the definition of what's pertinent. So again, I think we just discovered our news cycle for the next 6 months, because I think all of this means that there's going to be a lot more information. Will any of this prove Trump to be an evil deep state guy? I doubt it, but this is a news cycle that he'd rather be focused on the economy and foreign policy wins, not the actions of 30 years ago.
All right, let's go to late night TV. We know Stephen Colbert, that show will no longer be on CBS starting next year. How much of this is about politics? And of course, we have to talk about Paramount's pending merger. And how is it about the financial headwinds facing the TV business? Late night TV isn't doing well. There's no denying that.
No, I think it's two things. I think you nailed it right there. I think for the most part, this was an operation that had 220 employees. It was a $100 million budget per year, and they were losing money. I think big budget late night TV shows like this don't make sense in a world where people see their comedy sketches and interviews on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That said, the timing and optics is terrible for CBS and Paramount because, of course, they're trying to get this merger through. They need the Trump administration's approval. He just said that the $16 million payoff to Trump for the CBS 60 Minutes lawsuit was a bribe. 2 days later, he's canceled. And he's going to be on air for another 10 months. They handled this in the worst possible way, and it certainly looks like this was meant to appease Trump. Whether or not it was, who knows? But it's creating its own backlash that Trump is sort of getting big media companies to cow in fear to please him. So it's not a good look for CBS and Paramount.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.